So to begin our conversation today, first I would like you to tell everyone who you are, what your film is, and what you did on your film.
Okay. My name is James Martinez. I am the writer, director, editor, cinematographer, sound designer of Rogue 7, a Star Wars fan film.
So tell us a little bit about the story behind Rogue 7.
Okay, so Rogue 7 follows a group of X-Wing pilots, young X-Wing pilots, and they're in a fight with the Imperials in a space fight high above a planet, and the Imperials are getting the upper hand. And one of the X-Wing pilots is held captive by some bounty hunters in collusion with the Imperials. And a young thief who is also held captive by these same bounty hunters must now save the X-Wing pilots. So honestly, that's pretty much it. It's very simple.
The good thing about doing a fan film is that you've already got an audience who are already invested in the story, the world that is inhabited. And of course, it's being Star Wars, you have a plethora of people out there who are already invested in your story before you even start the credits. So exactly. I have to ask, why did you decide to do a Star Wars fan film?
Well, it's one of my earliest memories watching the first one, the 1977 version on VHS as a little kid. And I've never stopped loving it. I've always been invested in it. And I think with the release of the sequel trilogy with like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, and all the films and shows in between it, like The Mandalorian and Rogue One and other TV shows, it's like reignited the fire within me. And I was just like, okay, I really want to do one of these, but I want it to be fun. And I was still collecting like spaceships, like little toys. And I'm just like, I have like a green screen here. So maybe I could do like a short miniature film. And I did some tests and I was like, oh, okay, I think I can do it. Okay. So then I originally wrote one to be like this like long, like 40-minute movie. It's like, oh, I don't know. And it kind of just turned into a 15-minute like comedy film. So
yeah, but that's the adventure aspect of the film, is the fact that it's also funny as well. Which is one of the reasons why I enjoyed this so much. I was thinking it harkened back to having like a Han Solo type of movie stuck in with a bunch of bandits and a bunch of smugglers, and you just going to town with that type of story. And in the background, there's this big space fight.
Exactly. Yes.
So one of the things I liked about it is the special effects are amazing for your film. Did you do all of that green screen yourself, or did you have other people helping you with it?
There was a VFX artist who had the big ship that they fly around, the Montgomery one. Someone else did that one, and I was on one of those free Blender sites.
Oh, okay.
You can use the Blender program, and you can move the camera and such. Because originally that was gonna be a miniature as well, but I couldn't build it, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So, but then I had to learn how to use Blender.
Okay.
So I could like learn how to do it, and but for everything else, like everything else was done through After Effects, and I just did my best to just learn how to do it.
No, that's good.
Like for the yeah.
No, I'm gonna say that's good to know, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, I can't make a Star Wars fan film. How am I gonna be able to do that? Well, you're telling them right now, After Effects and using Blender, and there are already stuff out there that they can use and utilize to make a film look like a Star Wars fan film. So that's good to know. That's why I want to know some of these questions, because I'm sure there's plenty of people back there who are going to be asking these exact same questions because they want to know too.
Oh, of course. Like when I started doing it, I didn't know anything at all. Like I just I winged it as much as I could, because all I had was, these small like $30 miniatures. They were kind of about maybe like this big, and I had a camera and a green screen. I'll just do it as many times as I have to until it works. And plus doing it miniatures, because I'm not an actual VFX artist, I can't build models in through the computer myself. And also I couldn't afford anybody to do it for me. So I just had to make it work as best as you can. Anybody can make this kind of movie. Anybody can. It takes a long time, a lot of hard work, and a lot of patience, but anybody can do it. Like I hope that people take that away from it at least.
Well, that's one of the great things about people doing fan films. We can't make any money off fan films. We do this because we love the property that we're making a fan film of. So, exactly. The love of these franchises, which people don't think that there's a lot of love out there, but I've watched a lot of fan films from so many different franchises that there is a lot of love out there for a lot of different franchises. And if you want to make a story about it, you go out there and do it. And like you did, you learned a lot of stuff as you were going on. That's the only way we can do it. We're indie filmmakers.
Exactly. This is pure love.
So, what made you come up with this type of story to follow? Like, Star Wars world is huge. It's humongous. You can go anywhere with it. But what narrowed your focus down to the Rogue 7 story that you created?
Well, I genuinely wanted to do a funny Star Wars movie, because I watch fan films all the time and they're fantastic. I don't see too many that are comedy driven. So I was just like, oh, I want to do one that's kind of fun. I wanted to be loose. I wanted it to be fun, but have like a little bit of a couple of serious moments here and there in like the space fighting and like, building up some of the drama. But I just wanted it to be genuinely funny. Somebody could put on for like 15 minutes at a time in the middle of their day. And, and plus it was important for me that I write new characters, because a lot of the fan films I see that do really well, they're focused around established characters, like kind of like either Boba Fett or Luke Skywalker or Darth Maul. They're all really good, but I wanted to do ones where it's like, let me do one about kids that are like just trying to figure this crap out, and they are not getting along until like the whole thing is about them trying to figure out the situation, like work it all out, and then eventually like get along.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very important. I wanted to translate that through like a younger audience.
Okay, well, that's great. That's a great idea. Instead of it, you're absolutely right. I didn't think about this till now. There are a lot of fan films who focus on the established characters instead of, creating new characters in a new whole world and just putting those new characters in the Star Wars world. I got so used to watching so many of them that I never even thought about that. There's always that Darth Vader character in the background that may have started the thing, or there's Luke Skywalker's child, or they always have to do something that harkens back to characters already established. And you're right, yours are original characters that are just thrown in their world.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've seen the movie 3 times now, so I'm like, I never thought about that. Dang it. I gotta go back and watch it again. So that brings up a good question. Since you did so much of this film yourself, how long did it take to do the film itself?
It took, I want to say, a year and a month. Honestly, the first thing I even did for this was the sound work for it. Because, if I have a sense of what it's going to sound like, or at least what it's going to look like, it'll help me actually finish it and like bring it to like it'll become more fully realized. So the first thing I did, I designed I did the sound work for the tunnel sequence when the ship flies into the ship and like crashes. I did just all of that. And then I wrote based on the sounds, like what hits are going to happen, like what points are going to be important. It's like, how long is this going to take? It's going to take like 50 seconds to a minute. So I kind of just wrote it in, and I was like, I'll write everything else around that. I kind of worked backwards in a sense. I started doing the post work, and then I filmed the actual thing. And one of the only reasons it took a year was mostly for post, because there's really only 3 or 4 scenes in the whole movie. And those were like each a day's worth of filming.
Oh, wow. So principal photography wasn't that long.
It wasn't that long. No, it was like we had to schedule around all the actors, because everyone had different jobs. I used all my friends and stuff. and they're all like really talented, but still I gotta work around them because they got lives too. No, yeah, but yeah, I just we worked around. We filmed a scene in like April, then we filmed a scene in July, and then, and then September, and then October.
Yeah, that's the true indie spirit right there. Because having done a lot of no budget to low budget films myself, that is exactly what we have to do.
Yeah, it was crazy too because I actually at the time I had lost my job and I couldn't find one and I was running out of money but at the same time I was like, I can't wait any longer to do this movie. Like, how cheap can I do it? And I just kind of just blew the rest of my money on it and then I released it and I was like, okay, good, I'm broke, but the movie's good. So.
Oh my God. You were really dedicated to this project then.
Had to do it.
So you bring up a good point. You're talking about, spending money for the props and stuff. You have a lot of props in this film. Did you build all the props yourself, or they found props? How did that come about? Some of this, because everything in Star Wars is all about the costumes and the props and immerse you into the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the let's say the blasters, most of them are like painted Nerf guns. Like the ones the Star Wars toys you can just buy at the store. The ones that are orange, so we just painted over those and scratched them up. And some of them are from Etsy as well, because a lot of people make these great props. And I was just like, I'm gonna get that one because I want this gun. I want this. I had to do a lot of gun research because like I want this one, and I want this one. But the other thing though, the costuming, that was all my girlfriend Jessica, who also produced the movie with me. And we went to like so many LA thrift stores to like just get all the stuff. And that's like, it was so much fun to do that. But I think the best part was this was made in California, in North Hollywood, California, which is just above Los Angeles. And the thing about that's like the Valley area, so much trash everywhere. We're talking like broken TVs from like the 90s and computers, like those old Windows computers that were like huge, just lying around the streets. And I'm just like, if I'm going to build like a miniature tunnel or like an X-Wing cockpit, I could use all this stuff because it's so bulky. So we took all this stuff, we collected all this trash full of bugs and like dirt and crap, went to the backyard, just like emptied it. And then we like spray painted it, took stuff apart. That whole tunnel sequence, which was done by our production designer, Jessica Michaelis and Heather Pupecki. They're both fantastic. They're so good at this stuff. They put all this stuff together and made like a tunnel out of it. And that was just the free stuff, just all the trash,
Oh my God. Well, that being said, we have to do what we have to do. And the greatest thing is found treasure, because we can repurpose it. Having worked on several haunted houses, I have helped use trash a lot to repaint, scuff up, and throw in there for relatively no money, simply because we needed more stuff to fill the haunted house. You can't go out there and buy all that stuff. That stuff is expensive.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my God! So I understand that. I've never had the I guess the word I'm thinking of, the nerve to go out there and shoot a fan film as ambitious as yours. But hearing your story and us talking about this, it's like, oh yeah, I guess I can go out there and make something like this. Holy crap, maybe I should make me one too. But I'm hoping that other people are listening to this and saying, oh, now I can go make my fan film now.
It's 100% possible. Yes.
And the thing is, you didn't use a what do you call it? One of those a fundraising campaign for this, did you? Or did you use a fundraising? So one of the other filmmakers I talked with used a fundraising campaign for theirs. You did not use one for yours, yet you still accomplished creating a very realistic Star Wars fan film. The other one was not a Star Wars fan film, it was something completely different. But it doesn't matter if you use a fundraising campaign, or if you use your own money, or you get money from all your friends to help you, because unfortunately we can't make this money back off these fan films. So, but it's all about the love. It's all about the camaraderie, because you didn't have like one or two actors in your film. You had a lot of actors who were helping you achieve this goal, which I guess brings me to the next question. When did you shoot your film?
I shot it we started shooting in 2019. It officially was done in 2020.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out if you got it finished before the whole lockdown and COVID world, or if you tried it during that whole
right before.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm talking with a lot of filmmakers, and that's one of the things that have either helped or hindered their production because of the whole lockdown thing, protocols and stuff like that. We're indie filmmakers, we're trying to keep everyone safe, blah 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 blah. But yours was shot beforehand, so you didn't have to deal with that. I don't know. Did you shoot a movie during the whole lockdown process? Did you have to worry about that, or did you like scuff it all until a later date?
I've worked on a couple projects during the lockdown with like the actual safety precautions.
Yeah,
but just like little things here and there.
So, getting back to Rogue 7, what was the most difficult thing making this film?
The most difficult thing? Well, I want to say it was the post, just because I was learning as I went, and I almost suffered a hard drive failure at the time.
Oh,
which would have been terrible. I would have lost the movie. So it was just the post work, because I shot this whole thing in 4K. There were a lot of assets that I used that were in 4K that didn't have to be. So we're talking like an entire video full of like over thousands of 4K assets and like the high quality visual effects that my computer couldn't handle. So just trying to, keep up with that and make sure nothing explodes, nothing crashes. Yeah, I want to say it was the post work, because, honestly, shooting it on set was the most fun I've ever had. Everybody was so talented. Everybody brought everything to the table. They're throwing in lines back and forth, new ideas and stuff. So like that was like the easy part. But yeah, the hardest part was the post. Like
oh my god. I'm actually not surprised, since you said you had to learn all the different programs in order to achieve some of the visual effects. So some people don't realize that sometimes shooting the movie is the easy part, and the post may take twice, 3 times, 10 times as long, but at the end you will have something worthwhile. And so I want people to go out there and be ambitious. We're indie filmmakers. We can't always play it safe. We have to be ambitious.
Exactly.
And the more ambitious we are as filmmakers, the better our stories are. The better we become as filmmakers for our future projects. So, having done a fan film, is this the first fan film you've done, or have you done previous ones before this one?
I've been the director of photography for other fan films. Like we did for my buddies and I, we did a Powerpuff Girls fan film, and we did a Rocket Power, Rocket Power, and then what was the other one? We did a Recess one. We did these a while ago. Yeah, I was the director of photography for those with like some friends of mine. Yeah. we were going through all of them at the time. we did a Pokemon one. Yeah, all types of stuff. Like, and I was just like, I want to do mine. Let's do mine. Like,
I've seen a Pokemon one. I've seen, the Star Wars, plenty of Star Wars one. Never seen a Powerpuff Girls one or a Recess one. Those are 2 new ones for me. Interesting. But that just shows that with us indie filmmakers, that there's love for every franchise out there. So I encourage people to, if you love a franchise, make a freaking fan film. But one of the things I want to ask is why exactly did you want to do a fan film as opposed to something more original, by the way?
Honestly, I had this like urge in my heart to do one. I guess I always thought like I want to do an original movie kind of like this, but I'm not in a place yet to do it. I'm literally just one person with a camera right now. I still am that person. I'm still trying to establish myself.
Okay.
And I figure, the best way I can try and do that, like I could do a fan film, like with an established universe that a lot of people love. Like almost everybody loves this. And like maybe I could like get like kind of push my vision out there, like my personality and my voice. I could like kind of slowly crawl in, because it's harder to get something original done and get like bring people in on that, and to get noticed, unless it's like a major motion picture. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot harder to try and do that. So yeah, I figured like I want to start here. I'm not gonna play with it though. I'm gonna like take it seriously. I'm gonna show that like I can do something, like I can do stuff. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because like,
no, it makes perfect sense. One of the things that a lot of filmmakers tell me is like, we do a fan film because you can get 10 times, 100 times the amount of people to watch your fan film because it has an established base than you can if you do an original film sometimes, because you have to push it more. You have to push your name more. You have to push your film more. You have to push your concept. And then that's when marketing and stuff becomes more important to your original film. Whereas with a fan film, you put a Star Wars fan film like on the top, and you've already got a million people with, ooh, I want to see that one right there.
Yeah.
I don't even need to see a trailer. It says a Star Wars fan film. It says a Halloween fan film. It says a Serenity / Firefly fan film. I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, that'd be good too.
A lot of filmmakers say that because we are, I hate to say this, we are a dime a dozen. So we have to make our vision more clear and our talent more aware of the people who could potentially give us money for our own original product.
Yeah.
And so when you do a fan film like what you've done, you've tried to bring in all your own personality and your talent into this fan film, and you weren't just throwing something out there just because I love Star Wars. I'm just going to throw something out there. Whether it's good or not, I mean, who cares? You went out there and you took it seriously despite making a very funny movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So audiences can enjoy being in the world of Star Wars without being taken out of that world by, say, shoddy special effects or costumes that don't really fit within the Star Wars world. You see the jeans, the Levi jeans sticking out of the costume in the back. You're like, man, that just took me out of that Star Wars world.
Yeah.
You put a lot of effort, you and your team put a lot of effort into creating a film that can seamlessly be integrated into the Star Wars world. And hopefully I'm hoping that a lot of Star Wars fans will be able to appreciate and enjoy. That's just my little 2 cents there.
Well, thank you. I hope they love it. Like,
so being having done this fan film and a lot of fan films, I guess now, do you have ambitions to continue doing another fan film to build up your resume, or are you going to work on something that's more original? Tell me what your little goals are.
Honestly, I would love to work on some more original content, but I don't know. That's hard because at the same time, I want to continue like with these particular characters. Like I kind of I wrote them and then they acted it out, and I was like, oh my god, it's real. Like I kind of fell in love with these people, and I was like, I can kind of go almost anywhere now, if I wanted to. So I don't know, maybe if I do another one, I would want to follow these people and put like, I mean, it'd be like much bigger. I might have to do some fundraising for it this time because I don't want to go broke again. But but no, honestly, I just want to keep making stuff. I just want to keep making content. Well,
one thing I would like to say, if you do a sequel, use this film as a template to help sell and get people for the second film. Because this one right here shows the quality and of the film that potential investors will get from the next film. So I mean, you've got more than just a concept to sell. You have a whole film to say, dude, this is what I did. We're going to do a sequel. You definitely need to use that as a leverage to get more people. And I like to say that I encourage people to do the fundraising for all their films. It's the only way for us to grow. I've done plenty of films where there was no budget. I've done plenty of films where there's been really, really low budget that came out of my pocket. And I've done a couple of films where we had actual investors, both through a fundraising campaign and actual investor. So it is hard. It is hard. We are indie filmmakers, and I've never like you. I've been behind the scenes on a lot more fan films. I've never done my own. I'm kind of like you. I was like, man, I've done these fan films. I need to do my own fan film. One of the reasons why I'm doing the film festival is because I want to get off my lazy butt and do my own fan film now. I keep talking with you filmmakers, and I'm like, shit, what the hell am I waiting for?
Hey, you should. If it's something you really love, you got to do it.
You know what? You got to. And that's the spirit that I love to hear from filmmakers. And hopefully the people who are watching this will also get the same type of thing, because fan films, there's not a lot of places out there for them to screen other than straight on streaming services. But I was hoping that, at least shed some light on the fan film culture. It's huge. It's monumentally huge, and I think a lot of people don't realize just how big it is and how many filmmakers have actually made fan films. My co-festival director hadn't really seen any. He didn't. I mean, he's on YouTube and all the streaming services all the time. He ain't never seen none. I had to convince him, and that just kind of dawned on me. It's like, it really is a small little niche for us culture, for us filmmakers, because we're the ones who are making these films for the properties that we love, that we don't have any control over. But the larger and general audience out there have no clue about any of this stuff that we're doing, because they don't see them at the film festivals all the time, unless you have money behind it and you have names behind it. Like, it's hard to get in a normal film festival, much less a genre film festival that doesn't have a category for fan films. So we try and do what we can. I want to encourage filmmakers to continue doing what they love, and hopefully also mixing in a couple of those original projects among the fan films. So it's always good to hear stories about, you persevere. Long time. It takes a long time to produce it. It takes all of the money in our pockets to get it made. But we persevere, and we want to continue hearing stories about that. Because your story will just make someone else go out there and shoot their fan film, and then the process keeps going. So, one of the things I want to ask you is, how is it working with all the actors on this film? Tell me some stories. I gotta know some stories.
It was a whole lot of fun, because it's kind of just us just playing around. Everybody who's in it, I've worked on other projects. Like I've worked on like horror films or like comedy films, action films with all these people. Because our lead actor James Ham, he's acted in a couple things. Like, he was in this post-apocalyptic series called Afterworld, which is on YouTube. It's a great series of movies, short films, basically. And so he thought the script was like really funny, and he happens to be the lead one of the lead animators on Spider-Man Miles Morales, the PS4 game. So, like, and I was just like, and he's got like such like raw talent, and he can just like carry the role. And he was a lot of fun to work with. And like, and then, I was working with Brittany Rosoff, who is like, has a bigger resume, but like, she's like one of our closest friends, one of the funniest people I know. and like I wrote all these roles like specifically for my friends, like
Okay.
everyone I get. Like I didn't even hold auditions. I just like I wrote a role for you. Can you read it? Want to do it? They said, yeah, let's do it, because they all thought it was like ridiculous. They're all like, are the effects gonna be good? Who's doing it? I was like, I mean, I'm doing them. And they saw me behind the camera. I was like, you're gonna direct this and you're gonna like do the camera work too? Like, all right, yeah. The best thing was like the outtakes at the end of the movie, exactly how filming was. It was just like that nonstop, and everybody brought everything to the table. The villain of the movie, Michael Hunter, with the guy with the goatee, was like, y'all know who you messing with? Like, we were just throwing all these lines in for him and just made him the most ridiculous villain. And he's like one of my best friends, and he's just like just killed the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun, honestly.
Well, good. Oh my God. All right. So I actually, since you had so many hats on this film, what was the most fun aspect of doing the film itself? Was it the writing?
Actually, this wasn't really well, when I wrote it, I was just like, let's see if it'll work. It was just it was it coming to life. It was the acting, honestly. And then it was the acting, but it was also the editing, because like, when you film a scene on the day, you're like, wow, you see it happening, but when you see it actually on screen, when you're putting it together, it becomes better. It becomes like more than you thought it could be. The lines are funnier. You can play with stuff more. You could see things in performances and like on the set that you didn't see while you were making it. So it was just, I don't know, man, the acting and the characters, they made this movie like more than the VFX and all the post stuff I had to do. Man, it was these actors and the characters, like just filming them and watching them come to life and then assembling them and piecing them together. It was just fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I love working with the actors myself. I'm not an editor by any means, which is why I have never edited any of my own films unless it's a documentary. I find the writing process and working with the actors, the actual principal photography, to be the most fun aspect of shooting a movie. The editing is only fun when someone else is doing all the editing and I'm just watching them bring the magic.
I can understand that. I
like this right here, what you're doing here with these scenes here. Can we you do all the work. I'm just gonna sit here and watch.
Yeah. If I had it my way, I would be doing that. I was just like, hey man, can we edit this? You do it. Like, and I'll want to do it. If I had the money in my way, I would do it that way.
So this brings up an interesting question. Has it had a lot of festival play, or have you mostly been focusing it on streaming and online and getting views and that type of thing? Because I know a lot of people are probably are thinking about this in regards to their own fan films.
When I started, it was more about the views and the streaming, and I was reaching out to people who wanted to editing companies that wanted to I don't know, write something about it on their website and stuff, just like get some more traction for it so people could like actually see it more. But recently, as far as this year goes, it's been more about, I've been focusing more on the festivals and the like monthly awards or the sci-fi driven ones. So it's gotten a good amount of traction, a lot of no's, a couple yeses, but I think in total we've obtained about 30 to 35 awards. Nice. Based on the effects and and the acting and the editing and the music. Mostly it's like I tried it out kind of just randomly one day. It's like they have festivals for fan film. There's other festivals I signed up for, and I was just like, they took it, and I was just like, okay, I know they could do that. And then I just kind of kept going just to see what would happen, and views started to go up a little bit more. So yeah, it was first it was views, then it was festivals, and just trying to spread it out as much as I could.
Yeah, and that's the story I like to hear from filmmakers because, like I said, there's so many people who are doing fan films where they don't know what to do with it once they finish it. They'll put it online just trying to get views, but your film can have a second life or a first life, depending on which one you start first, on
Yeah.
the film festival circuit. Like you specifically chose sci-fi, and you probably could put it in fantasy. And there are people who are looking for really good fan films. They because all of us film festivals have a limited amount of films we can screen.
Yeah,
If they don't cater towards those type of films, the films that we love to make, then of course we become on the very bottom on the acceptance list if we're accepted at all. But to hear from you that like you're getting into some of these film festivals that may or may not have a fan film category is encouraging, because that means more people are taking what we do seriously and giving us a second shot at just being acknowledged as just a film and not just a fan film. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's nothing but encouraging when I hear stories like this. So it's always good, and I'm hoping that people that watch this will say, you know what, the next fan film we do, we're gonna freaking send it to film festivals first before we put it streaming. Getting eyes on the film is always good, but if you get those accolades like you have gotten on your film from film festivals, that only helps you as a emerging filmmaker trying to get real money for your future projects. Or Disney might come to you and say, you know what, you did an absolutely brilliant Rogue 7 and Rogue 7 Part 2. We're gonna hire you to do your own one. That'd
be a dream come true. They'd have to let me write the same way though. It's still gonna be funny. Like throw some Jedi in there this time.
Oh my god, that would be a dream for any fan film filmmaker to be called upon to say that your film impressed us enough to actually do a real Star Wars or be hired on The Mandalorian. I know, dream projects.
Yeah.
All right, so that being said, I've already heard a really funny story from you because I usually like to hear those type of stories, but you've told me lots of them. What would you like people to take away from your film when they watch your film?
Oh man, I just want people to have a good time. Like honestly, for me, the last 5 minutes of the movie, aside from all the VFX, is what the last 5 minutes what I made the film for. Mm-hmm. It was for the characters and like this journey they're on, and I just want them to like feel what they're feeling, and just honestly, it's a big shock to me that people find this film so funny because all this stuff that I came up with is just goofy crap in my head. So I'm surprised people like would laugh at it at festivals, but honestly, just that last 5 minutes when all the characters come together, when they work through their problems, and then they're friends. Spoiler alert for anybody watching this who hasn't seen the movie, but just it's honestly that it's just like the enjoyment of the ride with these people.
Well, that's one. I'll make this comment for your film. One of the things that makes it stand out is that the comedy is consistent, and your tone and your mood of your film is consistent, and that's what makes it work. If you just had these random moments where it was just funny and it was serious, it probably wouldn't work as well. But because of the way, probably mostly to your actors. But also from your editing, you've made it so that your tone is consistent throughout the entire movie, and that's what works. And I think that's probably because that's why I've seen it 3 times already. It's why it's so enjoyable. Testament to your cast and now to you, since you did the editing and writing and special effects and a little bit of everything on your film. So that's key. You may step away from the world of Star Wars and you want to do something that's funny, but it's key that you keep your tone, your atmosphere consistent, so that your film doesn't take people out of the world you created. So,
exactly. I'm happy you guys enjoyed it too.
Yes. Well, we are happy we're going to be able to screen it for the Fan Fest. And we look forward to the next project you create, whether it is another fan film, part 2 of this, or something more original. So we look forward to that. And also, I'd like to make sure that hopefully you can keep us apprised of the success of the film. You will always make note of where the film gets awards and accolades, and or where it screens next, because fan films need more love. I'm not the only person who thinks this. I'm just here to push that agenda through as a film festival director.
Power to you, man. Good.
Fan films need more love, dude. So we wish you luck, and it has been a pleasure talking to you, James, about your film. And I wish you nothing but success for the next film that you do. And I'm looking forward to Disney calling you and saying, we're going to hire you to make Rogue 7, the feature-length film, or you know what, just come over here and do a Boba Fett episode of the show. You know,
hey, that's fine. I'll do it. Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I love this film festival. And I'm looking forward to you trying to make one real soon, by the way, because I want to see your vision.
Yeah, you guys are pushing me. I've talked to 5 fan film directors within the last 2 days, and I'm like, damn it, I need to get off my butt, do my fan film. So
hey, I know you got a voice. You got to get that voice out there.
All right, you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing the next project you come up with. Thank you so much.
Yeah,